The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. Chyna, Streetz in the building. Hello, sis. How are you today?
Hey, how are you?
Good shit today.
Thank you.
Why the Drake beat?
Honestly, I just was like, I wanted to do that song because it said broke boys, and I figured, the girls would like it. So, everybody could relate to dealing with that.
I was about to say, as long as there's some captions in there, I know the girls be eating that shit.
They gonna have fun with it. I feel like I had a couple of captions in there that they gonna run with. So,
I feel like that's become like not like I want to say like a trend, but I feel like when it comes to like certain records that women put out, like I always end up just seeing all the captions after that shit. You know
because like when you post, like it's a thing, like it's really a thing to have like the perfect caption with the perfect picture. So like me being an artist, I'm gonna set the trend. So here, go use that for your picture.
Right. I was thinking about that like recently too. I'm like, cause it's like the same way that people think about like, oh, maybe I gotta have like 10 to 15 seconds for TikTok. Like, do artists, and I guess like in this case, like female rappers, female artists, they like, I wonder if like, is that something that you think about sometimes too? Like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a caption, or I need to come up with something that could be like a caption too.
I don't set out to like make a caption, but I'm a very witty person and I talk shit a lot. So at the end of now I'm just being honest. I talk shit a lot. So I'm like, you know what? Like I could have a conversation with like one of my friends and then I'll come up with a bar and I'm like, ooh, and they're like, girl, that's a caption. I'm like, all right, let me make that a bar then. And then just do it like that. So
and then do it again.
And then do it again and again. And I literally have a whole shitload of them. Like,
so how long you officially been making music for now?
A while. I'm gonna say, honestly, for a while, but just like getting like recognition for it, I would say within the last 3 years. Like it's on an upward like.
What do you feel like was like the shift?
When I stopped making what everybody told me to make. Like when I actually went with my heart and started making the shit that I wanted to make, I noticed that the people gravitated towards it more so.
What do you feel like people were trying to make you make beforehand?
I mean the typical girl bops.
Okay.
But there's nothing wrong with that, no shade. Like
right.
I listen, I'm shaking ass to it too, so I fucks with it.
Right, I'm about to say like there's a lane for that too, but if like that's not your lane, like I don't feel like people, labels, etc. should force you to make that type of sound.
Right.
So because it's like it's not you at the end of the day.
Well, sometimes it doesn't feel authentic. I just feel like everything is needed, But I just wanted to be true to myself as an artist. I wanted to make what Chyna wanted to make. I didn't want to make what you should make this type of song. You should make this type of song. It's like, yeah, I should, but like let it come naturally. Like I don't want to just be like forced into a box because then it's not me. It's what you want me to do. So it's still like you writing for me in a sense. So.
Right.
Weird.
And they're like kind of like forcing it upon you, and then you feel like, oh, I got to do this if I want to be lit, and I got to do this if I want to sell, and X, Y, and Z. And I feel like that's something that like is a big conversation now. It's like, but then if you kind of just stick to the things that you actually like to do, things will normally work itself out at the end of the day anyway.
I feel like it because then you're being authentic to who you are, and then you're not really like trying to like. You're not trying to do a thing. You're just doing the thing.
Right.
And then that's where it becomes a difference.
Right, because there was like even one project that I saw that you had posted when I was getting ready. It was like Weird Girl Antics, right? And I was like, I feel like that kind of too, because you spoke about the last like couple years, like that project was like 5 years ago now, right? And it's kind of like that kind of feels like what you're talking about. Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like, why else would you title it Weird Girl Antics? Like that's very,
Well, Weird Girl Antics, I was going through a very weird time in my life, and I was just dealing with like a lot of weird shit for real. So I just tried to like document that as best as possible, but it wasn't like a full length piece. So, I just wanted to give people like a peek into it. So to be like, hey, I do make music, like don't forget about me. Like I'm here. And then I turned around with Hourglass and actually gave people more of my soul. So it kind of worked. It was just the growth, actually. It was just more so growth from me doing what I felt I should do as opposed to me doing what I felt I should do. It just worked out better.
Because like in those 5 years, like if you listen to like the songs on the 2018 project versus Hourglass is like very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like obviously 5 years is a long time. People don't realize that, but like it's a long time to like grow and change. And there was a whole global pandemic in between too.
Right. And that trust me, that made a big difference too because that split in time really just let me know that time was of the essence and people need to hear what I have to say.
Is that also kind of the Hourglass time?
Well, yeah, that's literally what it was about. The Hourglass was like, hello, it's time to do something. Like, let's get it going. That's what Hourglass is literally about. Me giving myself a time limit to put myself out there. Because I'm shy.
Why do you say you're shy?
Because, a lot of times, people may not admit it, but we're always worried about critiques. Everybody's worried about critiques. And not saying that I was worried about it, but, I felt like it was time for me to do something. So I was critiquing myself like, okay, girl, get it together.
Right.
Like, do something. Like, let's make it happen. So I put that out and, people loved it. So.
Right. And do you feel better now?
Hell yeah. I feel a lot better now. So, you guys will be getting a lot of projects. Trust me.
I was about to say, like, once you get that piece of work out there after, like, a little while, and, like, do you feel like you being able to shed that, those different levels of shyness, too?
Well, yeah, but then, I just feel like, I'm not Erica Badu. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Right.
So at the
As
end,
you should be.
so that's just basically what it is in a nutshell. Hourglass was more so me breaking out of that shell of worrying about everything. Like I just said, you know what? F this, I'm going to do what I want to do for myself. Like, I'm not worried about nothing else. And that was just, like, me coming into my own as an artist, finally.
Right, that too, because, like, I feel like even in, like, the New York scene, like, it could be, like, especially as a female artist, right? Because there's so many incredible female artists in
Yes,
New York
there
right
are.
now.
I love them.
It's also, like, at the same time, like, people don't really talk about how stressful it can be to find that identity inside of, a market now that has so many different flavors of artists and so many different female artists popping up, whether it be like, the Lola Brooks, the Billy B's, or on the other side, like the drill artists or the singers. Like, it's a lot. And that's like a lot of pressure too at the same time to try to find that your own niche of like where you fit in and, or your own lane in this New York scene too.
But you know what? That just goes back to me saying, like, you got to be true to you, because if you're trying to find the lane, that means it's not your lane. Just do what you do best. And everything else will come after that. Like me, I had to do what I do best. I'm a spitter. Like, I like to call myself a divine lyricist. So at the end of the
I like that, divine lyricist.
Yeah, so that's what I like, that's what I do. I speak, from the soul, whether it be about the clothes or it could be about me lining my chakras up. I don't have a specific, like, I'm not gonna say that I only have one topic or one lane. Like, I'll go wherever my pen goes that day, and that's just it.
Lining your chakras up.
Yeah.
Explain this to me.
Well, that's a part of meditation. You gotta, I'm very spiritual, and everybody that knows me knows this about me, And if you listen to my music in depth, you'll hear it, Like, I love God, you know what I mean? And he's the head of my life, I keep that first and foremost. So I put that in my music too. Like, listen, I'm going through a journey. I let everybody know. Everybody explains their journey differently. So I'm like, listen, this is what I had to do. Like, yeah, I lost friends, I lost money, I lost this, I got back, and this is how I did it. And I put that in my music so people could know, like, listen, you're not alone. Just because I'm a rapper doesn't mean I don't go through the same things that you go through. I'm human. I just happen to make music, And I feel like that's where, my gift comes in, because I get to display that way.
Right, and show your spiritual side too.
Exactly.
How does one align their chakras?
Honestly, it depends. It depends on no, seriously, because everybody's spiritual journey is different. Like, what it might take for me to do it, I might like to go smoke and sit in a hot tub. You might like to jump out of planes. I don't know, but that might just be what gets you back to your, your comfort place, your place of like oneness, and just like, okay, I'm cool today. Like, you might have been stressed and then you just go, you might enjoy the strip club, you get in the strip club, you see the beautiful ladies, you want to throw off the money, and then you back to your normal self again. Everybody's way of aligning their chakras is very, very different. So, I say whatever makes you feel happy and you're not hurting nobody else in the process, go for it.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be through meditation.
Hell no. I feel like when people say that, like, they try to, it's like cookie cutter religion in a sense. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like, you still have to follow a protocol. No, you have to follow what makes you feel one. And that's just how I feel lining your chakras is, because we don't all have the same DNA. So how could everything work for each other the same way?
Right.
It doesn't.
So what's your favorite way to align yourself? Music, meditation?
Music, getting on a plane and going to put my feet in some hot sand somewhere.
Respectfully.
Listen, just leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'll be back in 3 days. Like, that's it. Like, that's how I come back to myself. Go sit in the water. Just not even be bothered with nobody.
I like that. Rome, are you aligned right now? Are your chakras aligned right now, Rome? Most certainly. That spliff had you.
Oh man.
No, but I feel that because like it's interesting. It's kind of like in a way it's like different types of therapies work for different people too.
Absolutely.
It's like some people like talking to people and like going to a therapist, right? And then some people, for them, the therapy is the music, obviously. But then in other cases, therapy could be, I don't know, like you said, just doing something that you like to do and then you good. You know what I'm saying? Like the therapy for a certain situation is like, it depends on the person.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, whatever it takes to get you back to being cool, because sometimes, you get a little off track, but, for the most part, that's what I do. That's how I, get back to me. Like, if I feel like it's too much, I'm like, okay, we need to take a break. We need to go do something else.
Right.
Because it's crazy.
So what else you got cooking up? What else we got on the way this year?
Well, right now, I got an album coming out on 183rd. It's called From Hell to Chanel. It should be dropping real soon, so... that I got a couple more projects in the tuck that I haven't spoken about yet, but you guys will be getting them soon. You're getting a lot of work from me this year. Got a couple of fire collabs that I can't speak on yet, but they're there.
So you on 83rd?
Yes.
My guy. How did y'all first get connected with each other?
Well, what happened was he had did a project with Def Soldier.
Yeah.
And then from there, we were all backstage. We all go through the same shows and stuff like that. I wound up dropping Hourglass, and he had hit me like, hey, let's get it going. And I'm like, it's whatever. We can do it. And then, now we just locked in, like, so tight. Like, that's my brother. Like, love him dearly. Like,
tough. So
cool.
From Hell to Chanel. I like the name of that. That's fire.
Thank you.
That's fire. How many songs is it?
Right now it's 13.
13. When are we getting it?
Probably the end of March.
By the end of March. Okay,
Don't hold me to that, but more than likely the end of March. I just gotta talk to a couple people and make sure that that's the release date, and then yeah.
Are you are you someone who will go back in and change a bunch of things?
Yeah, I'm a weirdo like that. Yes, I am.
That's what. She's like, gotta talk to a couple people, make sure the release. No, you gotta talk. You talk to yourself to make sure that you go with it.
No. I have to make sure, because of the
ducks in a row.
Yeah, but from right now, from what we discussed, it's good the way it is.
No, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
Do you feel like you're gonna add some songs, take some off?
Honestly, no. I'm not taking anything off because if I do that, we'll be here to next year. But no, I definitely am excited to give you guys this project. It's basically what it's named, From Hell to Chanel. It's like. This go around, you really gonna get the in-depth stories. You're gonna get what took you so long. You're gonna get the answer to what took me so long on this album. So you get the Hell and you get the Chanel version. So
that's fire. Chanel is you putting your feet in some hot sand for a couple days.
Well, no, Chanel is just me at my peak, me winning, just me happy, aside from the feet in the sand. That's the relaxed part. That's after Chanel,
Right.
That's the part that you guys don't even get to see. But the Chanel is the part, me on tour, me doing everything that I said I was going to do, me, living out my manifestation.
Right.
So that's what that is. The From Hell is the part that you guys didn't see that I had to battle behind closed doors, but me actually telling that story on a musical format. So.
Fire, that's very exciting.
Thank you.
So hopefully by the time y'all see this, From Hell to Chanel, coming soon or out now.
From Hell to Chanel, coming soon. You'll definitely have a single by the time this comes out. So
fire. By 183rd, man.
Yes.
Shout out my boy.
Shout out to 183rd. At the end of the day, he know what it is.
So what else you got coming out? Tour, anything else that the people got to be on the lookout for this year?
Definitely a couple of shows, couple of tours. Everything's going to be announced. Just, stay in touch on my social media. It'll definitely be on there. So I will definitely be making announcements. I go live, I talk. So, and feel free to hit me up because I'm not a stranger, Don't be weird though.
There you go. Well, make sure you go follow her. What's your IG? Give them your IG.
Yes. So all of my social media is at Chyna Streetz. Chyna with a Y, Streetz with a Z at the end.
There you go. Well, make sure you go follow her. From Hell to Chanel, produced by 183rd, on the way. Freestyle out now. Go check that out. Make sure you go show her some love. Run up everything she has out now. Love is free. Sports free. But y'all already knew that. Till next time, Chyna Streetz on the radar. We out. Boom. Appreciate it.